Father White Wolf, report. How fares the hunt? Have you caught scent of your prey?
Aye, Lord Verald. These greenskins make easy quarry. Any young whelp could follow their trail of destruction. We have tracked the beasts to an abandoned district of the city and intercepted the following communication.
This is it, boss, for sure. The Cogboy Yumis have hid one of them vaults under their city. We just need to get the power gubbins working again, and that will open the vault.
This vault had better be full of dead killy weapons, like you said, or else you'll be getting a good look at my dead killy chopper, you hear me?
It will be, boss. Those power gubbins are dead zappy if you get too close, you see. They wouldn't be scragging anyone that comes close if they weren't hiding something dead good now, would they?
It seems there is more to this place than meets the eye.
Indeed, brother. Whatever secrets the priests of Mars have buried here, it would be wise to leave them to their slumber. The greenskins cannot be allowed to breach the vault and awaken whatever lies within. Tread carefully, White Wolf. The Mechanicus may follow the light of the All-Father, but they guard their secrets jealously and do not take kindly to uninvited guests.
Aye, my lord. For us and the All-Father.
Hello and welcome back to Narrative Wargamer. I am Tony and today I'm joined by Chris.
Yo, what's up, Tony?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I am not bad at all, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. Pleasure for your hosting to have me in.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've brought down your Space Wolves today and they're going to be facing off against Zaggdreg's Deathskulls. But first of all, tell us a little bit about where you're from and what you do.
Brilliant. So my name's Chris. I run the Unrelenting Brush social medias and commission painting studio. I'm based in the Midlands in England. And I've got clients all over the world. I paint solo one-off minis, I paint armies, I paint terrain, I paint everything. I also branch off into one-to-one online tuitions if you're interested in learning how to develop your own painting. And I'm also running some painting workshops locally. The next one is the 28th of January in Belper in Derbyshire. For more information on that, please check out my social medias, which is facebook.com theunrelentingbrush and instagram.com the_unrelenting_brush. Yeah, and I brought my Space Wolves. It's 1990 points of the Drake Slayer Space Wolves, all Primaris, apart from the Fenrisian Wolves. And I can't remember the last time I played against Orks. I normally play them, but I've not played against them in a good long while.
I mean, to be honest, I can't remember the last time I played against Space Wolves.
Yeah.
I think it was 4th edition when I last played against Space Wolves. But yeah, it's, I mean, as you can see, there'll be some close-ups coming up now, but these Space Wolves are gorgeous.
Thank you.
And funnily enough, when you attended the most recent Crucible of War, you actually ended up winning the Best Painted Award for
I did,
for
which
your
was
Orks.
nice and unexpected because there was a lot of really great stuff there, so that was mega.
Yeah, it was funny. I remember the look on your face when actually I read your name out and you genuinely looked surprised that you
Yeah,
won it.
no, I don't do this to win prizes, I do it because I love it.
Yeah, and it comes across, it looks great, like I say, the quality on these models is gorgeous. But yeah, if you from watching today's battle report, you're interested in getting any of this or any models done up like this yourselves, then you can contact Chris. You know where to find him.
Give me a shout. If I can help, I always will. Even if you just want some advice and to talk some hobby, if I can help, I'll do my best to do so.
And occasionally you've also been heard on the Narrative Wargamer Podcast.
Every now and again, not as much as I'd like, but yeah, every now and again I like to give my 2 cents and see what's occurring in the old narrative world.
Yep, so you'll be a little familiar to some of our regular sort of listeners from the past. Yep. So yeah, it's nice to put a face to the name again. So we've now met Dan, other Dan, and Chris.
Yep.
At some point, we'll probably get most of the other hosts on,
yep.
And we'll probably keep cycling through people. We've got plenty of people lined up who are coming in for games with all sorts of armies. It's going to be fun. It's really sort of kicking off now here at Narrative Wargamer, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to watch. It's good to be a part of. I'm sure I'd love to come down again. Bring my Orks down maybe. See what the world is like when they eventually drop.
I think at some point we'll probably end up having to have an Orc v Orc game.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Between you and between your Goths and Dan's Snake Bites, we could probably end up doing like a mini campaign between all the clans.
Just clan warfare. Sounds good to me.
But But yeah, today you brought the Space Wolves,
Yeah.
and the mission today is going to be another one from the Crucible of War sort of mission pack, as it were. So we're going to be playing Assault on the Installation, which is one of the Crusade missions from the Beyond the Veil Crusade mission pack. And we're going to be playing with the Archeotech Facility environment. So basically, the sort of story that we're playing out today is that this is a ruined part of some Imperial world, which has recently been discovered by the Orks that under the city somewhere there is a AdMech vault of technology and weapons,
Gubbins
all
and
sorts,
nice things.
some sort of hidden facility, and it's been discovered because we've managed to find and locate a bunch of these power generators and outlets and so on, which we need to control in order to open up the vault doors below the city. And the Space Wolves don't like the idea of us getting hold of whatever technology is hidden in there.
Absolutely not. Get Tay. No green mitts allowed.
Unfortunately though for you, the AdMech being the AdMech, they tend to be a bit indiscriminate when it comes to their defense systems for these sort of things. So yeah, while the generators are both shielded against attack, they also have some formidable defense systems that are going to come into play. So we'll see how that goes, but yeah.
Like, help protect us from the Orcs. No, not like that, get back.
Yeah. It's going to be a good game. This is also the first time we'll have had some Space Marines on the channel.
Huge news.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things like Armour Contempt comes into play and all the rest of it, and see how the Deathskulls deal with that. So yeah, I think that's about everything. Before I forget, I do want to mention a big thank you again to GameMat.eu for sending through these battle mats for us to play on. They've provided a number of battle mats now, and they all look great.
Wonderful stuff.
I do particularly love the Eldar jungle one sort of thing. It's all like maiden worldy. It's lovely. Looking forward to getting all my jungle terrain out on that again at some point. But for today, we're going to be battling over the ruins of this Imperial city, and the mission details will come up now for you guys.
Today's mission is Assault on the Installation, a strike force mission from the Beyond the Veil Crusade mission pack. The players alternate placing 3 objective markers on the battlefield, one at a time, starting with the defender. Objective markers are placed more than 9 inches away from either deployment zone and more than 18 inches away from any other objective markers. In this mission, the players are attempting to gain control of Archeotech power generators that will open a sealed vault hidden beneath the city. The generators are shielded and will offer some protection to those nearby, however, they are also armed with defensive countermeasures if they detect any nearby threats. The mission objective is Hold Position, a progressive objective where at the end of each player's command phase, that player scores 5 victory points for each objective marker they control. In addition, the mission objective Power Conduit is a progressive objective which scores a player 5 victory points each time a unit from their army successfully completes the Power Conduit action on an objective marker. This is an action that can be performed by infantry units in range of an objective marker at the end of your command phase, and which completes at the start of your next command phase. These mission objectives cannot be scored in the first battle round. The special rule for this mission is Quantum Shield Generators, meaning units within range of objective markers have a 5+ invulnerable save against ranged attacks, and can never be wounded on better than a 4+ against ranged attacks. Today's Theatre of War is Archeotech Facility from the Psychic Awakening Pariah supplement. This Theatre of War represents an arcane Archeotech energy grid that is built into the battlefield, and which will discharge blasts of destructive energy throughout the battle as the armies vie for control of the facility. At the start of each battle round, the players roll a d6, and on a 2+, the power network activates. When this happens, the players roll 2d3 to determine which 2 objective markers have been activated. A straight line is drawn between the 2 activated objective markers, and each unit that this line passes across suffers d3 mortal wounds. If a double was rolled and only 1 objective marker is activated, every unit within 6 inches of that objective marker suffers d3 mortal wounds instead. Finally, when approaching objective markers, units risk activating the quantum warding protocols. When a unit ends an advance or charge move within 3 inches of any objective markers, roll 1d6. On a 3+, the quantum warding protocols activate, and every unit within 3 inches of that objective marker suffers d3 mortal wounds.
Today I'm bringing 2,000 points of Deathskull Orks in a pretty full battalion. So it's going to be led out by Zaggdreg Ironhide himself, so my warboss in Mega Armour. He's got the Ard's Nails Warlord trait, so he'll always be -1 to be wounded, and he's also got the Crushing Armour, so he's got a 1+ save and a 4+ invuln. So hopefully between both those things, he's quite tough, and he should be able to get into a good scrap with the Space Wolves, hopefully, without just folding over. But joining him, leading the battalion today, we've also got Snazzskull, our Wayboy, who I have actually decided to try kitting out a bit fancier today. So he's also got an extra relic. He's got the Super Cyborg body, so he's got a 4+ invuln and he halves incoming damage. And I've also given him the Warlord trait, Might is Right, so he has just +1 strength and attack. So hopefully he's also taking Jabbing Fingers and Fists of Gork. So between Might is Right, Fists of Gork, he's going to actually hopefully put out a good number of attacks, and we'll have to see if he actually does some damage, because we kind of hope he will. Then running alongside both of them, we've also got my big mech with custom force field today, whose main job, as usual, is to repair and operate the Gorkanaut. So the Gorkanaut is just standard Gorkanaut today, no custom jobs or anything else, but it's going to be big bully unit. It's going to go for some of you one or two of the key objectives, get in the way, make a big noisy nuisance of itself. And to that end, the big mech has the Fixer Upper's relic, so the Deathskull relic, which means he repairs an extra point of damage, and he can potentially do some mortal wounds to a nearby enemy vehicle. He's also got a Bionic Oiler custom job, so basically he can twice per game heal an extra wound with his Grot Oiler. So hopefully he's going to be able to help keep the Gorkanaut running as long as possible. Then the battalion itself is going to be filled out with the full 6 troop choices today, because I feel like we're going to need them to try and swamp the objective markers and take them back from the Space Wolves, or at least keep them back if we get hold of them. So we've got 5 units of 10 Orc boys, all with sluggers and choppers, and all with boss knobs with ooze choppers. And then in the 6th slot, we've got a unit of 10 Gretchen. Now, normally in some games, the Gretchen usually gets sent forward as the first sacrificial wave to hold an objective, gain some points, and then die. Today, though, they might actually sit at the back and be the action monkeys. We'll see, because if we can sort of lock down one of the objectives, then maybe the Gretchen can be the ones siphoning the power to try and open the vault beneath the city. In the elite slot today, we've got the Death Wreckers are coming back, so we've got my big unit of 5 Mega Knobs, we've got a Boss Knob with Combi Scorcher and Shooter, and then the rest just have Power Claws and Shooters. We've also got a unit of 5 Tank Busters, so today, these are actually going to be my specialist mob, and I'm actually going to be running them as Boom Boys, which basically means they're sacrificing their Deathskull bonus in order to instead gain +1 AP on their rocket launchers, which hopefully is basically going to offset Armour of Contempt, meaning we'll actually still have some reasonable AP to throw at the Space Wolves. They've got 2 Bomb Squigs, and then also in the elite slot I'm bringing back Flash Scragger and my Waaagh Banner Mob, because as always, I think he actually does a surprisingly good job, and his +1 to hit also applies to things like the Gorkanaut, so he'll probably be walking around with that as well, hoping it punch better. And in the fast attack slot today, we've got 1 Boomdacker Snazzwagon, just the 1 today, because we're more interested in having lots of infantry to sort of swap the objectives and control the board today, so just the 1. But since we have just got the 1, he's actually got the custom job today, so he's got the Souped Up Special, so basically it's a mech special with even more shots. So it'll be fun to see how that does. I've also got one of my favourite units today, which is the unit of 3 Death Copters. Again, I just think they're really useful, they benefit from the Waaagh, rockets are great, and the ability to deep strike gives me options if I decide to use it. Just all around good unit. Then filling out the heavy support slots, we've got a battle wagon today. So this is actually just a regular battle wagon with the Zap gun. Again, one of my personal favourites, even though they might not be the most efficient choice out there. I do love a good zap gun, and it actually did work in the last game, so we'll see how it does today. The plan for that is it's probably going to be carrying 2 units of 10 boys, probably down one flank, try and secure an objective if there's one a bit more away from the bulk of the army. It has got the Fortress custom job, so it has just got a 5 up in one at a time, which means it also has a bit of independence and doesn't need to hang around the custom force field big mech in order to survive. And then finally we have our burner bomber today. So filling out the aircraft slot, we've actually got the burner bomber on the channel for the first time. Again, favourite of mine. It's got some tasty stratagems I actually really like, but basically it's going to fly around, drop a couple of bombs, fire off some Scotchy missiles, and hopefully just make a nuisance of itself. And I think that's everything.
My Space Wolf army today consists of the Fire Drake Company, which belong to Crom Dragongaze. He's currently at the route doing what he needs to do, so this force is being led by my Wolf Lord. He is armed with a master-crafted heavy bolt rifle and a power sword. Next to him is the Chaplain/Wolf Priest, who has the Litanies of Hate and the Exaltation of Rage. The other HQ is my Reaver Lieutenant in Reaver armour. He's going to stick with his Reaver pals running around spooking people. For my troop slots, I've got 10 Assault Intercessors with chainswords and heavy bolt pistols. The Sergeant has his plasma pistol. I also have 10 Intercessors with Stalker pattern bolt rifles, and 5 heavy Intercessors with the Hellstorm bolt rifles because they fire loads of shots. For elites, I've got 3 aggressors in Gravis armor with Flamestorm gauntlets. I've got my Redemptor Dreadnought named Vigar Hellrain, who's armed with his Gatling gun, his heavy flamer, and his Fragstorm launchers. 2 squads of 5 Reavers. One squad's got the bolt carbines, the other squad has the combat knives and bolt pistols with the grav shoots and the grapnels. I've also got for my fast attack 5 Fenrisian Wolves and a Cyber Wolf, alongside 3 Outriders. Then for my heavy support, I've got 3 Eradicators with melter rifles. I've also got a Gladiator Valiant tank with the Last Talons, the auto launchers, the heavy stubbers, all the works. And then for a dedicated transport for the Reavers with the bolt carbines, I've got an Impulsor with a missile launcher. So this army comes to 1,990 points. It's pretty much everything I've got in my Space Wolf collection. Strictly all Primaris bar the Fenrisian Wolves, just because I think the range is amazing. I've always loved Space Wolves. And I really like the idea of this massive hulking force of infantry in Primaris armour running around, stabbing, shooting, and slaying in the name of the Allfather, like absolute lads.
Right, so here we are. We've set up, we are deployed, we've got various Space Wolves across the field from various orcs. And yeah, we're going to see how it all sort of kicks off now. So just to quickly run down a little bits at the start of the game. So first of all, in terms of CP, hi Chris.
What up?
In terms of CP, we are using our sort of homebrew version. So we're basically playing with like Nephilim style CP, except we both have a free Warlord trait and Relic anyway. So what that means is that, have you spent any pre-game CP, Chris?
None.
So you'll be starting on 6 CP.
Full lack of 6.
Whereas I have spent CP on a couple of extra relics and stratagems, so relics and warlord traits even. So I'll be starting on 3 CP, but we'll be going into this battle round and gaining an additional 1 each. However, before that, we have a couple of things to just go over. So first of all, objective markers. We have objective markers numbered 1, 2, and 3, sort of across the centre area of the battlefield. These represent the different power generators that we are trying to control and activate in order to open up the Archeotech vault somewhere beneath this city. However, they also come with various defensive measures, as have just been described in the mission details. So they will offer both protection and damage if we get too close to them, but that is the whole aim of the game. So controlling them is key, and also performing actions on them for additional victory points. Lovely. Now, at the start of each battle round, we would normally roll to see if some sort of energy starts, arcing between these objective markers, but as it wouldn't catch anyone in the first round, because we don't have any forward deployed units, we're not going to bother this round.
We are safe from the zap.
For now. However, the one thing we do need to do is we need to roll for first turn, don't we?
We does.
Let's do that now. Let's roll over here. So the orcs get 2v5. Space Wolves will be going first. Right, so just before we jump into Space Wolves for turn 1 then, we'll quickly just run down our deployments. So Chris, do you want to talk through the Space Wolves and what we've got where?
So we've got the 3-man Eradicator team over here, the Impulsor with the Reaver Carbine squad with the Lieutenant in Reaver armor inside, Gladiator, the 10 Assault Intercessors with their Wolf Lord and their Wolf Priest, the 10 Stalker Bolt Rifle Intercessors, the Woofers, my Fenrisian rules with Cyberwolf, Vigo Hellrain the Redemptor, 5-man Heavy Intercessor team with Hellstorms, the 3-man Outrider team, and the 3-man Aggressor teams with Firestorm Gauntlets.
Lovely. And in terms of the Orcs, we've got the Burner Bomber starting up here on this flank. We've got various mobs of Orc boys, so 3 mobs of 10 over here, which are all hanging around with our cluster of characters. So we've got the War Boss, the Weird Boy, the Big Meg, and the Wire Banner all in here. We've got some Tank Busters at the front behind the barricades. The Gorkanaut, being its general imposing self, the unit of 5 Meganobs coming up behind that. And then on the flank over here, we've got some faster elements. We've got the 3 Deathcopters, which I decided to deploy on the table for this game. 1 Battle Wagon with 2 units of 10 Orc boys in it. And the Boomdacker Snaz Wagon. Plus some sneaky grots who are hoping maybe to go claim that objective, but then they do not like the look of those aggressors.
Come and have a go.
So we will see. So yeah, that's where we're starting, and we now know that the Space Wolves are going to be getting the drop on us. So yeah, we'll be back in a second, won't we, Chris, with Space Wolves turn 1.
Let's do this.
Right, so we're back now after Space Wolf movement phase, and we're just 1 or 2 things from command phase, both getting to CP, and Chris, you attempted some litanies, didn't
Tried
you?
to get litanies of hate, but the chaplains decided no, not right now, maybe later.
So no litany this round, but other than that, what's moved where and why?
So we've advanced these guys down this flank towards the bomber. Everything here is advanced towards the objective in the corridor, ready to face the green tide. Redemptor Dreadnought is skipped down this alleyway with the the heavy intercessors, moving up to take that objective ready for the next turn. So that was a good advance roll from them.
Yes, that's the main thing, isn't it? So they got at 6 on their advance, which means they are on objective 2 for the start of next turn.
Exactly. Our riders advance around this flank, along with the aggressors slowly moving up.
You have to decide what to do about them. So that means we're going to move on quickly now to Space Wolf shooting phase, because we've not got any Rune Priests or Psychic
No Rune
Shenanigans today.
Priest for me today, maybe another time.
Cool. So where do you want to start? It's worth noting actually that I ummed and ahed about using the custom force field booster this round to try and protect the Orcs more, but basically the main threat is going to be this Gladiator variant, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, the Gladiator attempting to fire on the Gorkanaut. So I'm just going to try and ride it with the basic 6-up in one from the custom force field, and we'll see how that pans out.
Orc belief into.
But,
so we're going to do that over there, and then we're going to do the missile launch from the Impulsor into the bomber over there as well.
Into the Burner Bomber. Cool. Right, so where would you like to start?
Start with the important one.
Okay,
so 4 shots hitting on 3s.
Yeah.
That's a 1 and a 2. That's what we like.
That's
2
fine with me.
hits.
Yeah, not so bad there.
And then strength 9. What's the toughness?
It's tough as 8.
So
Big old
3s.
walkers.
For 1.
Okay, I'm feeling better about my decision now not to bother with custom force field.
I'll command CP one of those to wound rolls.
Go on then.
So 2 wounds altogether.
2 wounds from Laz Talons. AP a lot, I assume?
AP. -3.
No 3, no 4, no 5. Yeah, so I'm on 6 of them.
Yep.
6 up in ones. Nope, so it's going to be 2 through. So that's 2d6 damage.
D6 damage each, yep. Haha! Take 3.
3 damage,
Didn't
okay.
didn't like that, did you?
I am feeling better about my decision on the force field now. But yes, go on then. So that's 3 damage initially, and then 2 multi-melters?
2 multi-melters, so 4 shots hitting on 3s. That's 3 hits.
3 hits.
And strength 8, toughness 8, so 4s.
That's what I was hoping you might have dropped one. But
Yeah.
I'm okay with the twin last time.
Yep, so 3 go through, they are -4.
Yes, these are also, once again, 6 up in buns. I passed
You
one.
get one.
That's okay. So it's going to be another 2d6 damage.
Half range, no, not within half range, so 2d6 for 8.
So it's 11 damage total.
Yep.
Okay, that's not too bad. So,
How many's it got total?
it starts from 24.
Oh, take that.
Yeah, so what? That's down to
14?
Yeah.
Yeah, down to 14 wounds on the Gorkanaut. Lovely.
The Outriders are going to shoot their bolt guns into the grots.
Cowardly Gretchen.
Exactly. Hitting on 3s.
Well, grots are clearly hard targets.
We'll rebook this again, and I'll try again another time. So winning on 2s, they toughness 2.
Toughness 3.
Toughness 3, so 3s.
So 3s.
So 1 gets got.
What, AP?
-1.
I actually am on a 5 up saving cover for being
Yep.
a grot because I get +2 to it. So
Wonderful.
6 up save for being a grot.
It's going to be like that today, is it, Tony?
Grot saves it.
Gonna be like that. So the Redemptor Dreadnought's going to shoot its heavy onslaught Gatling cannon at the battle wagon. So hitting on 3s. Not bad.
Shoot's going to be 5s.
5s and 6s. That's not bad. And that is at AP -1.
So in which case...
Unless it's the Devastator Doctrine in the first turn,
it is.
and it's heavy, so it's -2.
Actually, yeah, Devastator. Didn't make a difference because I rolled in once
No,
anyway, but -2, so that actually puts me down to a 5 up save.
Yep.
On the Fortress. How many? 4?
4.
Yeah, they're all damage 1.
More like it, or damage 1.
Yeah. 4 damage then.
Right, I think my last round of shooting for this turn is going to be the Intercessors with their Stalkers into that squad of boys over there.
Sure. Yeah. So are we going top floor or bottom floor? Can shoot either or.
Let's go top floor.
Top floor. Cool.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There's a 9-man squad.
Yep.
So hitting them on 3s. Get rid of the 1s and 2s. And then strength 4, toughness 5, so 5s to wound. 4 6s I'll take.
Yeah, 4 wounds with Devastator Doctrine.
Yeah, those are -3.
Yeah, so these are going to be 6 up saves for the force field. So 6 ups. I save 1!
Oh, yay!
So 3 dead orcs. In which case then, that is everything for Space Wolf turn 1. So the main thing is you've sort of taken position on one of the 3 objectives.
So next turn, at the end of my command phase, they'll perform the action to hold that objective, and then I'll gear up this side to do the same over there, depending on what you do.
Yeah,
and I think this is just going to be an alleyway of hell.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit, isn't it? There's probably going to be a bit of carnage going on here, so we'll see. We'll be back in a second then with Orc turn 1. Right, so we are back after the movement phase for Orcs turn 1. So we've shuffled about in a few places, sort of advanced up the sort of main alley here. So the main things that came up really was that 1, this front unit of Orc boys, they advanced, but we had to use a CP to re-roll their advance to get further enough to be able to claim this objective. Which is important because 1, we're on an objective, and 2, because of the mission, it means the things like the fibre bin bun and the transhuman effects against range attacks are going to kick in for them because they're officially within range of the warded shield generator objective marker. Additionally, the Big Mech has moved up with the Gorkanaut, and we're just going to roll now to see how many wounds the Big Mech heals the Gorkanaut for. So I get a D3 for the Big Mech, +1 for my Relic, which triggers on a 2+. So 2+ the Relic triggers. It does, so it's going to be getting an extra wound. And I use my twice per game Bionic Oiler for an extra 1. So it's going to be D3 +2 back. It's going to be the big 5. 5 wounds healed for the Gorkanaut, which is lovely because that puts it back to 19.
Yep.
The tank busters have moved up onto that building so they can get some line of sight on the Gladiator this turn. The Burner Bomber is just taking a commanding position in the centre, kind of target-rich environment for it. We'll decide what to do with it in the shooter phase in a little bit. And then on this flank, we've moved up our battle wagon full of 20 Orc boys, and the Grots have also moved up, so we're now on top of objective 3 on this flank. And between the Boondackers and the Deathcopters, we're hoping to inflict some damage over here. Probably on the aggressors as the priority target, hopefully. We will just quickly do the psychic phase because it's going to be 2 straightforward powers. Basically, first up, Snazzskull is going to attempt jabbing fingers on the Gladiator, just to make it -1 to hit.
Yep.
Until my next turn. That was cocked. 5 is not going to do it.
New phase, command reroll.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. because I'd like to make that -1 to hit.
Yep.
Yeah, 1 CP will reroll that. 8 will do it. So jabbing fingers on Gladiator. So it's
Wonderful.
-1 to hit. And then the only thing it'll attempt, because I might as well, he's going to try Fist of Gork on Zaggdreg, on the off chance Zaggdreg somehow finds himself in combat.
Yep.
Because I can do 2 powers. Cast on 8, so Zaggdreg is also +2 strength and attacks.
Hooray.
Probably won't come up, but it's there in case I need it.
Exactly.
Right, now we'll move on to Orc shooting phase.
Hooray.
Orc shooting phase. I think we'll just start with probably this flank over here because we know what important targets we've got for the Deathcopters and the Boomdacker. Because we want to get rid of these Flamestorm aggressors because they are going to mess up Orc boys. So, these guys have 3 wounds apiece, don't they?
They are.
Right, in that case, I think we will start with the Deathcopters because they've got damage-free weaponry.
They do.
So yeah, the Deathcopter's going to open up with all their rockets and custom blasters and everything at the aggressors. And Chris, I believe you have a stratagem you would like to use.
I will use transhuman physiology so that win rolls of 4+ only affect them and not 3 or less.
Yes, because I'm about to be throwing a bunch of strength 8 shots at them from various things.
Ha! Is that all you got? The Sons of Rust are not so easily put down.
So yeah, this seems like a good option. So, we'll start with the Custom Mega Blaster, which gets D3 shots. Here's 2. Hits on 5s. 1 hit, that's fine. So this is Strength 8, so
Yep.
4s. Oh, look at that.
Immediately pays off.
I'll Deathskull reroll here because... Yay! Right, so this is -3 D6.
D6 damage. Right, so...
It is -3 is the key thing.
Yep.
Rather than -2 on the others. So...
Yep. Yay!
Hey! Of course. Sure. Fine. Rockets then. So each of them gets 2d3 from the other copters.
Yep.
So...
Hitting on 5s. There you go.
This is number of shots.
Oh, number of shots.
They get
So
2d3 each.
Do that again.
Yeah, do that again. That would be very nice. Because that's how many rocket shots we get. Right. These hit on 5s. Land 5 of them. That's not too bad.
Pretty good.
However, it's only 4s to wound. Wound. And 1 off the table.
1 for the house.
Yep, so that's going to be... So yeah, so these are actually just -1 for you.
Cool, so 4s.
Of course.
Pass them all.
Fine. All the highly explosive weaponry didn't explode anything. Fine. Right, okay, next then. I'm going to open up with the... We'll do the battle wagon.
Yep.
So it's got a Zap gun, which means I get to roll to see what strength it is and then determine targets.
Yep.
So the Zap gun is going to be strength 8.
Nice.
Well, considering that Transhuman's is in effect and this is a one-shotter, I'm actually going to put this at the Outriders.
Cool.
But I am going to put all the bullets from the big shooters
Yep.
at the aggressors because
Yep.
I just want to try and chip wounds off them.
Absolutely.
The Zap gun, however, at the Outriders. It hits.
Hooray.
Strength 8. It wounds. Yeah, so AP2 of Armor Contempt,
Yep.
so 5 ups to the Outriders.
Yep. No.
Good. It's flat 3 damage.
Wonderful. 1 goes through, 1's got 1 wound left.
Okay, lovely. Well, I said I'd do all the big shooters at the aggressors, so that's what I'm doing. So 2 big shooters, Dakar range, 5 shots each.
Yep.
10 shots. Land 4 of them. 5 of them, even. That was actually pretty good. Accurate battle wagon. Each of us 5 in gravis?
Turns 5. Yep.
Yeah, okay, 5s. No, 4s. It's a big shooter.
Yep.
About all big shooter. And I haven't used the Deathskull reroll yet, so Deathskull reroll. 3 saves minus nothing. 3 ups.
So 3 ups. So 1 goes
That's a
through,
wound.
second one. 2
Also
go through.
goes through. 2 wounds. Lovely. Okay.
We didn't
Right.
like that.
Well, in that case then, Boomdacker Snazwagon.
Yep.
We're going to open up with that next. This has many weapons.
Yep.
I'm going to put the... I think I'm just going to have to put everything into the aggressors,
Yep.
starting with the big shooter, because I want the 1 damage weapon to try
Yep.
and get the last wound off that guy first.
That makes sense.
So, big shooter, it's a Grot Gunner.
Yep.
5 shots at Dakar range, so it's 4s. 4s again.
Not a sausage Deathskull reroll.
No, I'm going to save that for the
Yep.
next special. Fine, just all the mech special shots into it.
Yep.
We're in 15 inch. We've got the souped up special, which means it's actually Dakar 16 at this range.
Yep.
Mech special 5s to hit. Wonderful. 4.
Superb.
Typical orc shooting. It's strength 5, so it is 4s.
Yep.
This is where we'll Deathskull reroll one. Right, so this is base AP2, so AP1 for you.
Yep. And
Lovely. 2 damage a pop, so kills one, 2 damage to another. In that case then, we're going to put everything from the Burner Bomber, all its weaponry, is going to go into the Outriders. So we're going to start, we'll start with the Scorcher missiles, because they're the key things to use. So Scorcher missiles are 2d6 shots. Cocked. 5. Okay, that's fine, we'll roll with that. 5 shots, hitting on 5s.
There you go.
4 hits though. Strength 6, so we are wounding the Outriders on 3s. I didn't need a Deathskull reroll. So that's 4 at -1 for you. Yep.
2 go through.
8 super shooter shots at the Outriders. 1 hit.
Hooray!
3s is only strength 6. Minus nothing for you.
Yep,
because
so
it's
3 up. Loves it.
fine. And then 6. It's a twin big shooter, yes, a 6. 6 Dakar shots as opposed to 10 at this range.
3 hits.
Is a Grot Gunner, so 4 hits.
4 hits, yep.
4s. And here's our Deathskull reroll. All 4, AP nothing.
4 3-ups. 1 goes through.
1 more wound.
Dunk.
Fine. Right, so we've got a little bit of shooting on here now down this corridor of death. We'll start with the prescribed option, which is going to be Tank Busters into Gladiator. Now, I'll just double check you're not within 18. No, let's see, just out of 18 for the Tank Buster bomb. That's fine. Well, funnily enough, Fenrisian Wolves are in 18.
Yep.
So, because I can, I'm going to loose the first bomb squig out of the Fenrisian Wolves.
Excellent.
Non-vehicle, so 3+
Yep.
goes off from them.
I can't see. It's a 4.
That's a 4. Lovely. D3 mortal wounds on the Fenrisian Wolves. 1.
1 dead pupper.
But the rest of the rockets are going to be going out the Gladiator.
But you +1 to hit stat with them because they're against vehicles.
Yes, by moved, it's a heavy weapon.
So it counts as cool.
Basically 5s, yeah. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 D3 rockets from the Tank Busters. 1 cocked. Lovely, right, so 3, 3, 2, 2 and 1. We moved, but you're a vehicle, so that +1 -1, so back to 5s to hit.
Yep.
Wow.
That's cocked. Roll that one.
Ooh, cocked.
Oh my god.
Alright. Deathskull reroll.
Yep.
No, not
Oh
Deathskull
my
reroll.
God.
I'm Boom Boy, so I didn't even get the reroll.
No, you don't.
Wow. Alright, okay. Next and final bit of shooting then is the Gorkanaut is just going to open up with various weaponry.
Big gun.
He's in 12 for the Scorcher on the
No,
Fenrisians.
not my doggos.
Yeah, there's actually rockets and Super Gatler into the Assault Intercessors,
Yep.
Scorcher and the wrist-mounted big shooters into the Fenrisian Wolves.
Cool.
We'll start with the rockets. So 2d3 shots. 2. 5s. Cocked. 1
Yay.
rocket. Doesn't move.
Animals.
Of course it doesn't. Right, yeah, so this range, Dakar 20. So 5s to hit. Strength 6, 3s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4 saves at minus nothing for you.
So for 3-ups on the Assault Intercessors, they're fine.
Effective orc shooting today. This is what happens when we come across Armor of Contempt. Yeah, well, in that case then, I think that is it for orc shooting.
Did you do the bits into the walls?
Oh, no, I didn't. Of course I didn't. I didn't shoot the
You don't
puppies.
have to.
I will do.
Why
Scorcher, D6 auto. 5.
5, there you go, that's what you want.
Strength 5.
Toughness 4.
3 wounds. -1.
3 Armor of Contempt. Because
Minus
they
nothing.
are Space Marines, so 6 ups. That's 3 dead wolves.
Lovely. Which ones?
3,
back 3.
Those 3 there.
three?
Yep. Thank you.
Please. after a little deliberating, I am going to do some charging in a very orky fashion, and it's going to be with the battle wagon over here, because I love me some ramming speed. So we are going to be ramming this battle wagon directly into these outriders, and we will see what ensues, because there's going to be some amount of hectic chaos, I think, but we'll see what happens first.
Let's find out.
So I'm going to do 2 CP for ramming speed.
Look, the Humies got rides of their own. Let's see how tough they are.
Which means I get to make a 3d6 charge and potentially do some mortal wounds. So we get, a lovely 10-inch charge. But all I want to do is clock the battle wagon into here.
Yep.
So we're on our 12 wounds, we're still on the objective, and on our 2+, the outrider unit will be taking D3 mortal wounds.
Nice.
They will be taking D3
Yep.
mortal wounds. Just the
1.
one.
So it goes down to 1.
So you're going to drop 1 outrider down to 1 wound. Fine. Right, so in that case then, we will quickly move on to fight phase, because it's literally going to be the only fight. So being a battle wagon, full wound, it's got 6 attacks, charging in, hitting on 5s. Well,
You are killing it with those 5 pluses today.
I
mate.
get a Deathskull reroll. No, I don't. Yeah, we've just crashed into them. Cool.
Dunk.
Would you like to fight me back?
I would love to fight you back. If you can
Would
pile
this-
in that bike.
I was going to say, would this outrider like to make a pilot move?
Absolutely.
Feel free to punch me back.
Wonderful. So they're 2 base, chain swords, shock tactics. So that's 4 plus 1 for a sergeant. So 3s to hit. No exploding 6s yet because we're not in the assault doctrine.
Would have been somewhat nice.
It would have been bloody lovely. Oh, plus 1 to hit because Space Wolves in the first round of combat.
Of course you are, Space Wolves.
Grr.
Strength, not.
Strength 4.
so
So
6s.
6s.
1 wound. Fair enough. AP 1.
1.
Yeah. I take it. Ow.
Could you not?
Yeah. Fair enough. Then that is the end of the fight phase, and I believe
That's
the
one
end-
more wound I did to you that you should have done to me.
Yeah, I wish I had. I don't think we've got any morale.
Morale for my puppers.
Roll your dice.
Huh.
Fair enough.
There we go, the wolves are
The
staying.
wolves are fine for morale, they do not. In which case then, that is the end of round 1, it's the end of Orc turn 1, so we'll be back in a second with Space Wolf turn 2.
Hooray!
Right, Chris, we are back. We're at the start of our round 2, but we remembered something, didn't we?
What are we like, mate, honestly?
So, remember when we mentioned that the power grid wasn't going to affect anything at the
Yep.
start of the first turn because we weren't close enough?
Yeah.
We remembered that there's that clause, isn't there, about finishing advance or charge moves near objective markers. And
Exactly.
we both did that a couple of times.
We did.
So we're going to roll for that now, because it wouldn't have affected much otherwise. So we're going to go down the lines. First of all, this mob of Orc boys finished an advance move within 3 inches of an objective marker. So on a 3+, the defense systems would activate, and everything within 3 inch would take D3 mortal wounds. Which they did. So the only thing currently in 3 inch is that unit of Orc boys. So they take D3, they take 1 mortal wound. But I am a Deathskull, do I take it? I do.
You do.
Okay, so one boy got shocked by the defense systems. Now, Space Marines over here also ended an advance move within range of
They
objective
did,
marker.
so it's on a 3+.
Yep.
No.
They're fine though. They were
Love
sensible and careful about it. Now, over here, we'll roll for the advance check against the Grots. Yep, they're taking it.
Yep.
So they would have taken 3 mortal wounds.
Did I get Deathskulls or not because I got
No, Grots do not get the Deathskulls rolls. That would have been 3 Grots would have got zapped while investigating the power generator, which coincidentally would have caused a morale check for them.
Yep.
So they would have failed. Which means 1 flees, and because they're Grots, they actually flee on 1 and 2s, because they're cowardly. So it turns out the objective is killing the Grots all along, we didn't even realise it. Yeah, 3 more Grots ran.
They don't want the objective, it's stupid.
And now we have to do it again, because the battle wagon finished the charge.
This is it, this is the one. I am confident.
Oh, actually, first of all, when the Grots triggered it, the battle wagon would have been affected, because it's everything
Oh, is
within
it?
3.
Oh, you 1-3 up for all the units.
Yeah.
So D3.
So the battle wagon would have taken D3 from the Grots activating it. So it'd be 2, but that is a Deathskull. And it takes 2.
It has a 9.
9. Wow.
yeah, these defense systems are actually more dangerous than I give them credit for. Because then, when the battle wagon finished its charge move, we'd check again.
Yep.
On a 3+. Cocked. It triggered again, which means every unit within 3 inches would have suffered D3 mortal wounds, starting with the grots.
Oh my god.
They took one more. Thankfully, that was technically in the same turn, so no additional morale.
No additional morale.
And the battle wagon would have taken another D3. Another 2.
Deathskulls it.
Deathskulls it. I Deathskulls it once, so down to 8 wounds. So yeah, that is a lesson to the Orcs in being too reckless with AdMech tech. Now, notably, this is actually the start of Battle Round 2, because this is the command phase for the Space Wolves.
Yep.
So, first of all, we have both gained RCP for the round.
We have.
Do you want to roll for your litanies now?
So we'll do Exhortation of Rage on the Assault Intercessors. Would you get off?
Lovely. And then the other thing which will potentially come into play now this time is we're going to get zapped by the power grid again.
Yes.
Because now we need to roll 2d3 to determine 2 random objective markers that the energy grid is going to be activating and coruscating energy between. And
Oh dear.
okay, so that's objective 3.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh, come on.
There's something going on this side of the board and I don't think I want it.
These poor grots. Right. So what this means, because we rolled up the same objective, it means that this objective 3 marker does an aura damage of 6 inches to every unit within 6 inches suffers D3 mortal wounds.
I'm confident that the rots can survive this. 6 inches.
Does it catch the Outriders or not?
No, just
Fair
the
enough.
Dozer Blades are the difference.
It's almost like the Space Marines know what they're doing. Whereas the Boomdacker, the Grots, and the Battle Wagon are going to get shocked again. Fine. The Grots, D3 mortal wounds. Yeah, it kills them.
There we go.
Poor Grots. They didn't even...
Not a shot was fired in anger by them or the Space Wolves against them.
But they were barbecued by the defense
They
network. The Battle Wagon, D3. 2.
Deathskulls it.
Deathskulls it. Takes 1.
That's 7.
And the Boomdacker takes D3. For 3. It's a Deathskull. Takes all 3. Leaves it on 5. Okay, so, Chris, what have we learned? Is it a good idea to raid
There needs to be
AdMech
some
Archeotech
hazard
Facility?
tape around these objectives, and we all need high density rubber gloves. Very dangerous.
Well, please bear those lessons in mind as we go into the Space Wolf movement phase.
I will tread with caution.
So, we're back after Space Wolf movement phase.
Intercessors are staying there and performing the action on that objective to bag me another 5, so they're just doing their thing. Vigo Hellrain's going to look after them. Don't worry, lads, he's got you. The aggressors moved up ready to engage the battle wagon, and the Outriders are happy where they are.
So yeah, the big mech is going to be extending the custom force field to a 9-inch aura of a 5 up in run.
Wonderful.
But
It will, from this point onwards, stop working.
Yep.
Time for an extra boost while I make some repairs, I reckon.
Where would you like to start?
How many wounds has the Gorkon got left?
It's on 19, because the big mech
Yeah,
killed
it
it.
did a load of healing, didn't it? Right, we're going to do, over here, we're going to do the crack missile into the Gorkonaut, we're then going to do everything else into that squad of boys.
Yeah, so we've got a front mob of 9
Yep.
and a second rank mob of 7.
Yep, these will shoot the mob of 7,
Cool.
the Reeve as well. And we'll do that bit first before we go anywhere else.
Yeah, okay, so what we're starting with of that.
Let's go for the Impulsor. So it's crack missile going into the Gorkonaut, hitting on a 3. Hits.
Yep.
Strength 8, toughness 8.
Yep,
So
falls.
4s. No wound.
Ooh.
Then the Iron Hail Heavy Stubber into the front rank of boys, hitting on 3s. 3 hits. And strength 4, toughness 5, so 5s. Just 1 save, please.
Just the 1.
5 of Bimble.
5 up. Nah, we get
Yep.
the boy.
Then the Stormbolters, hitting on 3s. Some 1s and 2s there. And wounded on 5s. for
Three.
3. Yeah, that's as hard.
5 up in one again. Whee! Just the one this time.
That's.
It is worth noting that you did move into Tactical Doctrine,
Yes, yeah, we should have said that.
although I've only been taking invuln saves so far anyway.
Doesn't matter. Right then, bolt carbines for days. 1, 2, 3. These onto the rank of 7 boys. So
The second rank, yeah.
the second rank, yeah. Hitting on 3s. Wow. Look at all them 1s and 2s. Clearly bedazzled by the force field. And 4s against 5s, so 5s to wound. Cocked. So just a 1 at
a 1.
-1.
I care not. 5 up in one. Failed.
You care a little bit.
I do care a little bit.
Right,
What next?
the fun bits. We're going to do the Eradicators into the Gorkanaut. Right, hitting on 3s. For 2. Do I, don't I? No. We don't. Wounded on 4s. For 2. Do some invulns.
5 up in buns. Oh,
dear.
They're both going to go through.
2d6. For 5.
5.
Not great.
Fair enough.
We'll then do the Gladiator, everything into the Gorkanaut, apart from its Iron Hail, Heavy Stubble, which are going to the front rank of boys.
The Gladiator's -1 to hit because of the Jabbing Fingers psychic power.
That's so hitting on 4s. This is the Twin Las Talons into the Gorkanaut. 3 hits.
Yep.
And strength 9, so 3s to
Threes.
wound. I will command point reroll one of those.
Cool. No. 1 CP.
1.
5 up in bun. He gets it though.
D6 damage. Coughed.
5. Ooh, down to 9 wounds.
Then is 2 multi-melters.
Yeah, it's not looking healthy.
Hitting on
4s.
4s.
Hey, Jabbing Fingers helped a little.
Cocked.
It
helps
helped a lot.
tremendously. Amazing work, Gladiator.
Lovely.
I hope you get destroyed next turn. I think that's the heavy stuff. So while we're going to go into this squad, they're going to shoot the tank busters.
This is the heavy intercessors.
So normal
into
intercessors with
tank
stalkers.
busters. Sorry, yes. Normal intercessors with heavy stalker rifles.
Exactly. Hitting on 3s. Yes.
We do hit.
Wounded on 5s.
Yeah, 5's doing that.
1, 2, 3, 4. They are -2, but you get your 5 up invuln.
Yep, 5 up in bones, custom force field. Saves 2.
Yep.
2 go down.
I think that's me for shooting over here.
Yeah, I think that's everything on this flank, so.
So over here. So we've got these 2 units. They're chilling on that objective, performing an action.
They are.
Vigar Hellreen's going to have a pop at the Mega Knobs over there.
That's absolutely fine.
3, 6, 9. 12 shots with his onslaught Gatling cannon.
Where are we rolling?
Roll over here.
Gatling cannon at Meganobs.
Hitting on 3s. Not bad. Strength 6, so winning on 3s. Not tremendous. That's 5 at -1.
5 -1, it's a 3 up. I've got all here. I'm fine.
Golden. Tick-ed e-boot.
Good old Mega Armor.
Fragstorm grenade launchers, so 2d3. 2 each. Hitting on 3s. And winning on 5s. Just 1. No minus.
2 up. Takes
There
it.
There it is. The Flamestorm gauntlets.
I assume. Yeah, I
There
assume they're going to
you
burn
go.
up the
Yeah.
boomknacker.
Cool, so 4d6. That's pathetic.
I'm going to say, that's fine by
11.
me.
9. Maths is hard. Here we go. Strength 5.
5 on the vehicle.
That is 2. -1.
That's alright. 5 up save then.
Golden.
I will take 1 wound. I mean, it's only on 4 now because it's been shocked to death, but... Is that everything for shooting, Chris?
All shot. Yep, everything that needed to shoot has done.
Cool. In which case, then, I assume, is there going to be some charging this turn?
There will be a charge or two.
Then we will come back in a second with Space Wolf charge phase. So here we are, Space Wolf charge phase. Who's going where, Chris?
So we're going to have the Fenrisian Wolves, all two of them charge that squad of boys, along with the Assault Intercessors.
Lovely.
Then we're going to have the Flamestorm Aggressors charge the Battle Wagon.
Lovely. Where would you like to start?
Start with the easy one, the Fenrisian Wolves charging your boy squad. Any Overwatch?
No Overwatch.
Why would you?
But here's the fun thing. You complete the charge move, infringe an objective marker. Roll dice on a 3+.
Do we resolve that now, or do we do it when everything's charged?
We do it now because you've completed the charge
on
move.
a 3+?
No, the Wolves have not activated
no,
the defense
they love
technique.
it, mate. The Intercessors will have a go as well. They'll need, 6. Yep. All day, every
10, they're going to be in, so they move up,
Then they get zapped.
and then potentially everybody gets zapped.
All the zappings. Oh, because it's 3 up and then everything within 6, isn't it?
3 up, everything within 3.
Okay, on a 3 up.
No,
Whoa.
these Space Wolves are cautiously
They
charging.
bloody love it, mate. Right, that's that one over there. So then the Flamestorms into the Battle Wagon. Yep, and they're just going to go.
Yeah. They're going to avoid being within 3 inches of the objective.
Stay back!
Absolutely fine. Right, we'll jump straight into fight phase then. So where would you like to start?
So before we do that, I'm going to spend 2 command points to give this unit +1 to wound through Savage Strike. Savage Strike, 2 command points to unit 5 or more models. If that unit made a charge move this turn, then until the fight phase is resolved, each time a model in this unit makes a melee attack, add 1 to the attack's wound rolls.
Strike now with all your fury. Do not relent. For us and the All Father.
Yep.
Hitting on 2s. Cocked.
Grab those ones.
2. Good thing it's not the assault phase. Or the assault.
Now, this would have been 5 to wound.
Yep, it's now 4. I just don't have enough dice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19.
Okay, let's just start by rolling goals. 5 ups.
Yep.
Boom, 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 boom. 5 ups. Not actually too bad, all things considered,
Yep.
but that is 3, 6, 9, 10 wounds. Yep. Yeah, you get them. So it might not look like they killed the orcs, but they did and have consolidated into the next set of orcs.
Where orcs?
Fair enough. Do you just want to hit me back with the Outriders?
I will hit you back with the Outriders. So they are 2 plus Chainsword, 2 Chainsaw Sergeant. Hitting you on 3s. Yep, 3s, not the first round of combat.
6s. Just jump off.
Sweet, sexy 6s. For 1.
1.
1 at minus 1.
1 wound.
You can do it.
-1, I'm on a 4 up. And we'll roll to see if it blows up.
Yep. Standard. Absolutely standard.
You're right, Chris. There's definitely something very hazardous going on this
You
flank,
can
isn't
tidy
there?
up this half of the board of everything if you do well here.
So the Battle Wagon is exploding, which is every unit within 6, so both Space Marine units and the Boomdacker, are suffering D6 mortal wounds each.
Yep.
So we're going to start with the Outriders that just killed it.
Yep.
So they're
So
suffering
5, they're all dead. Way!
5 mortal wounds. And then
A 4. Go on, do it.
the aggressors,
Way!
5 mortal wounds.
I don't want this side of the board anymore. I decided it's stupid.
Boomdacker Snazwagon.
Oh,
6 mortal
I
wounds.
live for it.
But I am a Deathskull, so I get a 5 up.
Yep.
I die exactly. I take 4.
Ooh.
So that's the Boomdacker dead. Now,
Does he
technically,
explode?
yeah, let's check to see if the Boomdacker explodes. No. Right, so now we're going to roll for the 20 orc boys inside the battle wagon. Amazingly,
Not horrendous.
2 of them die on the
only
way out.
2.
Assuming that they do, because I am a Deathskull.
Yes, of course.
I do.
They do. They sadly do.
Right. And we now have a battle wagon-sized hole on this side of the table. There was a bunch of Space Marines, now there isn't. Right, Chris, did that fight go as you planned?
Stuff happened. Stuff happened that I wanted to happen. Whether it was by me or not is a completely other matter.
So we do have one last bit of fighting then for this phase, which is, since you consolidated these Orc boys, they can now activate and punch you back.
Yep.
That's exactly what they're going to do. We're going to start with the boss snob, who's got an ooze chopper. So because the war boss and the warband are there, I'm technically hitting you on ones.
Yep.
But 2s to hit. So this one's a Deathskull reroll. Yep, lands all 3 hits. I am strength 7, so freeze. 2 wounds, minus nothing for you, but they are damage 2.
So 3 up. They're good.
Fine. Then the Orc boys. 2s to hit. Still managed to get 5 misses. That's doing nothing. 4s to wound. Ooh, got. Yeah, it's fine. 5 saves minus nothing.
5 3 ups. 1 takes a wound.
1 takes a wound. We've got a bit more work to do there, I think. That is the end of Space Wolf turn 2, is it not?
It is. Yeah, that was a spicy meatball.
It was interesting. Stuff happened. A lot of dead orcs, but also surprisingly, the amount of dead Space Marines. So yeah, we'll be back in a second then with Orc turn 2, and I'm feeling a Waaagh coming on, Chris.
I can smell it in the air.
So we're back now at the start of Orc turn 2. So we both gained a CP for the command phase, and the Orcs have scored 5 victory points for holding this objective on this corner, since even though it's probably just a massive crater at this point. The Space Marines still have objectives 2 and 1 currently, so we need to do something about that. So Chris, I think it's time that we call the Waaagh!
Why though? You don't want to do that. You want me to charge you.
No, now is the time of the Waaagh. The
Go on.
Waaagh is here, and you will have to deal with it. So yeah, we'll be back in a second after Orc movement phase. Right, so we've actually got a few little things to do in the movement phase. So first of all, we'll just point out where stuff's moved around. The boys on this flank have actually started doing the action to activate the power conduit, just as the pesky Marines were doing over here. So if they're around by my next command phase, that'll be an extra 5 victory points. Over here, the other mob have advanced and are probably going to try and do something about Redemptor, or at least tie it up. We'll see. The Mega Nobs have advanced round the sort of centre of the building. Because we've called the Waaagh, all my units can advance and charge, or at least my core units can. So they're hoping to slam into the heavy intercessors. Down at the bottom here, the Deathcopters have spotted the pesky Reavers dropping in and have decided to go deal with them. So they'll be blasting and shooting them in a bit, hopefully. Over here, the boys who were engaged are getting stuck in. Snazzskull, the weird boy, is planning to dive into them, as is the Gorkanauts, so he's going to be hitting both them and the Fenrisian wolves, potentially, if the wolves are still there. And on the flank over here, Zaggdreg and the other mob boys have decided to go deal with the Lieutenant and his Reavers. So Zaggdreg is hoping to crash into the Lieutenant himself. And the Burner Bomber has done a 90-degree turn and is now flown back over the rear of the Space Wolf lines. So we have a couple things to do in the movement phase. First of all, Burner Bomber is going to drop a bomb. Now basically, with positioning, it means I'm going to roll a dice per intercessor in this building.
Yep.
And on a 5+, they'll be taking a mortal wound. This is one of those rare instances where I technically pick a point on the battlefield. Yep. And every model within 6 inch.
Yep.
rolls for it. So I'm going to pick a point here, you catch them all.
Yep.
Don't think it's going to work catching Gladiator. 5s. So we actually inflict 5 mortal wounds with that burner bomb. Burn. Which is going to be what, 2.5?
2 and a bit, yep.
Then, Big Mech. He's in the movement phase. Once he finishes moving, he's going to attempt to heal the Gorkanauts some more. So again, Deathskull Relic on a 2+, I'll get an extra wound back when I heal. I am getting the extra wound. I will use my second, twice per game, extra wound from the Groiler.
Yep.
Which means we're getting D3 plus 2 back. For 4. And I think that is it for movement phase. So we'll do quickly a psychic phase again because it's just Snazzskull. Right, so yeah, Snazzskull's still just about got 20 orcs around him, so he can do 2 powers. He's going to smite.
Yep, smite stuff.
Smite the assault intercessors in front of him.
Good idea.
He's going to smite.
Yep, so D3.
D3. He's going to do the full 3, kill the wounded one and another one. And he will also then attempt Fist of Gork on Zaggdreg.
Which is +1 strength, +1 attack.
+2 strength,
Plus two
+2 attack. Yes, he's going to cast that on the war boss.
Yep.
Cast on an 8.
Yep.
+2 strength and attacks with Zaggdreg. Lovely. Right, that's it for Psychic, so we'll be back in a second with Orc shooting phase. Right, so I guess we'll start with the Gorkanaut and see what that does.
Yep.
Sculpture into the Fenrisine Wolves.
Yep.
Big shooters on the wrist into the Fenrisine Wolves.
Yep.
The Super Gatler into the Wolf Priest.
Yep.
And the rockets into the Eradicators, because I'm going to try and handle them.
Wonderful.
So we'll start with the rockets. 2d3 shots at the Eradicators. It's the full 6.
What you want?
5s to hit. It's 1 hit.
Fantastic.
And freeze, because it's fine. Cocked.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. Yep.
Yep, 1 -1 for you.
Is that with armor contempt?
Yes.
Cool. So 4 up. It's a fail.
Flat 3 damage.
One's dead.
Crack. We'll pick on the puppies next.
Yep.
Scorcher for d6 at them. 2 Scorcher hits. Freeze. 1 wound -1, but nothing for you.
So 6. Nope.
Burns a puppy, and then big shooter shots. It's a full 20 because it's 2 twin big shooters.
Yep.
15, 20 big shooters into the 1 wolf. We hit it 3 times. Freeze. 1 wound -0.
He's a 4 up because he's a cyborg.
Oh god, of course he does.
He loves it.
He's alive!
He's alive. He loves it.
Oh my god. Right, fine. We're going to have to put some more bullets into him later. Fine. Super Gatler into the Wolf Priest, because that's what we said we'd do. So we're in Daka range, so he gets the full 30 shots this time. Shot 6, freeze. 4 at -0.
4 3-ups on the Wolf Priest.
Yeah.
He
1 goes
takes
through.
1.
Burn a bomber.
Yep.
Is it going to put all its bullet-based weaponry into that Fenrisian wolf?
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Because I want it dead. CP1. So you know what? I'm going to put the Scorcher missiles into the Eradicators. Just try to do some damage to them. But I want that wolf dead, so I want it out of the way.
Yep.
6 shots from the Grot Gunner. Shot 5, freeze. 3 4+ on that Fenrisian wolf. Okay, not dead. So we actually have to find the super shooters at it.
Yep.
8 super shooter shots. 3 hits.
Promising.
3 wounds, -0 for you.
He's dead.
Thank God.
He is finally dead.
Cleared that really annoying puppy out of the way. Then the Scorcher missiles at the Eradicators. 2d6 shots. 5. 5s. Cocked. Lie flat. 1 hit. That's fine. Freeze. Deathskull reroll because I haven't used it. 1 wound at -1 for you.
3 up. Yep, so 1 Eradicator's wound.
Okay, then Tank Busters. I'm going to launch the second bomb squig into the Impulsor.
Yep.
Vehicle within 18 inches, and all the rockets. I guess we're also going to fire the Impulsor because they get a bonus against vehicles.
Yep.
So, bomb squig versus the Impulsor. Cocked. It goes off on a 2+.
Yep.
D3 mortal wounds. 1.
Hooray. Down to 10.
Down to 10. Then the Tank Busters, 3d3 rockets. So 3, 2, and 1. Perfect average. Because I stayed still under your vehicle, the match hitting you and falls.
Yep.
Not that it made a difference. Strem. In fact, you know what? Deathskull reroll on the hero. No. A 4+ was worth it. Freeze. 1 wound. AP -2 for you because I'm boom balls.
Yep.
Actually, I didn't get the Deathskull reroll, but it didn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Goes through. Flat 3.
Down to 7.
Yeah, it's just Deathcopters. But I just put everything into those readers.
Wonderful.
Start the Custom Egg Blaster. D3 shots. Cocked. 1 shot.
Hooray.
Hits on 5s. Misses. Fine. 2d3 shot, 4d3 because it's 2d3 each.
Yep.
For the Deathcopters. Ooh, lovely. It's a good number of rockets. So that was 3. That's 2. That's 1. 5s. Good. 1. I'm going to Deathskull reroll here. Yeah.
So 2.
2. And 2s, because you're fate. 2 at -1 for you.
1 takes it, 1 doesn't.
Flat 3. Splats 1.
Pop.
Right. I think that is everything for orc shooting.
Fantastic.
So we'll be back in a second with orc charge phase.
Wonderful.
Right, time for orc favourite phase. It's the charge phase of the Waaagh. So I guess we'll start with the important ones. So the Gorkanaut is going to attempt to just slam into the assault intercessors. We'll see how far he gets. 7-inch will do it. Now he
Yes.
is going.
Oh, he's going to set it off.
Gorkanaut will crash in there. Now finish the charge in 3 inches of the objective marker.
Yep.
3+, it triggers.
Cocked.
It
It
does
does.
trigger, so every unit within 3 inches of the marker is going to take D3 off.
The boys might be safe there.
The boys are safe,
Yeah.
so it's just the assault intercessors and the Gorkanaut.
Yep.
I'll roll for the Gorkanaut. You take 3 mortal wounds, I can do nothing about that. It's just on 10. Of course.
Then for my boys, they take
2.
2.
Kills the guy. Right, then the weird boy is also going to charge into the assault intercessors.
Yep.
He's in, he can't fail. He's going there. He's not triggering anything.
Yep.
Over here on the flank, Zaggdreg, he needs, because of the crater, he needs a 5 to reach the lieutenant. I'm going to declare multi-charge on lieutenant and
Yep.
the Reavers. That'll do it. That's
Yep.
7. So Zaggdreg's going to crash in there. And then the boys, also just rolling for distance here, they're charging the Reavers.
Yep.
So 5 inches. Now over here, we will start by declaring the orc. We'll start with the Meganobs actually. I want to see
Yep.
what they do. The Meganobs are going to attempt to charge the heavy intercessors.
Cool.
I need a 5-inch charge because we pre-measured it. 5-inch charge. 6 will do it.
Yep.
So I'll take the 6. I don't need to worry if that's cocked or not. They finish a charge move within 3 inches of the objective marker.
Yep.
With 3+, they trigger the defense network. They do trigger it.
Yay!
Every unit
We're
within
all
3
going
inches.
to die.
Which is not the Redemptor. That's
goodness.
fine. So just for me and for you. So for
Yep.
my guys, this is for the Meganobs. Ooh, it is just the 1 mortal wound. But I have a Deathskull. I don't take it.
Wonderful. So for my guys, here's 3.
3 mortal wounds.
Yay! So 1 dice.
Because
That one at the back.
This guy. Lightning blasts out of the generator and zaps them. Cool. Then the unit of orc boys here are going to. Let's have a look. We need 6 inches to reach the intercessors, but we're at -2 for crater.
Yep.
So it'd be 8. So I'm just going to go into the Redemptor.
Cool. I'll Overwatch.
So that- I figured that might be what was coming.
Okay, so the Redemptor Dreadnought's firing Overwatch on the incoming
All
Old Boys.
Yep.
So the Onslaught Gatling Cannon Heavy 12 hitting on 6s for 1.
1.
And wounding on 3s because it's rank 6 for nothing.
Lovely.
Then the Flamer on his arm for 5. Wounding on 4s because it's strength 5 against toughness 5. That's all of them at -1.
Well, I'm on my inbun for Waaagh.
Yep.
So 5 up saves for Waaagh. Cocked. Fails 4 of them.
Amazing.
Offensive charges, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's us.
Oh, before I forget, because Zaggdreg charges Lieutenant, I have the crushing armour.
Ah, yes, yeah, your relic.
So there's a chance that Zaggdreg's relic inflicts mortal wounds when he charges.
Yep.
So 2+. He takes D3 mortal wounds.
Yep.
3 mortal wounds.
I think he's 2 left. But
As the sheer weight of the war boss just slams into him.
Yep.
So we're back with the fight phase, and currently Chris is capable of interrupting, and there's lots of fights going on. So I think I'm going to start with the most important one, in terms of getting crackbacked anyway.
Yep.
And that's going to be the Gorkanaut fighting the Assault Intercessors.
Cool.
'Cause they're probably going to do the most harm to me if left alive.
Quite likely.
Starting with the Gorkanaut on the Assault Intercessors.
Yep.
His current bracket, he gets 4 attacks base, +1 for Waaagh.
Yep.
So he's getting 5 attacks base, and I'm going to do sweep profile for 3 attacks per attack.
Yep.
So 15 attacks. I would be weapon skill 4+ on this bracket,
Yep.
but the Waaagh banner's nearby.
Yep.
Give me +1 to hit, so I do hit on freeze.
Yep.
Well, those are all 1s and 2s at this.
It was an awful lot of 1s and 2s.
Yeah, so that's how many hits, but fine, that'll do. Strength 8, so 2s. And that is 7 saves at, for you, AP -1.
Wonderful. 2 damage.
2 damage, AP
2 damage.
-1 for you.
So these need to be
4s.
4s or more.
Wow.
I lose 1.
I killed 1 with the Gorkanaut. Wow, that did not go to plan. I should maybe have just gone for the 6 damage smashes. Sure, fine. At this point, would you like to interrupt anywhere or not?
Yes, but where? We'll do the Assault Intercessors.
Okay, so for 2 CP, you're going to interrupt the Assault Intercessors.
That's correct.
How would you like to split your attacks?
Put them all into the boys.
All into the boys?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
So they are
Seems fair.
2 Chainsword. Was charged this turn? No, it wasn't charged this turn.
Wasn't. You were by the Gorkanaut.
By the Gorkanaut.
And the Weird Boy. Okay, so you don't freeze.
5s to wound.
The Grace of the Orc. How many?
Just 4.
It's not too bad. Power pin for the Orcs. Didn't help.
Yep.
4 dead Orc boys. Cool. So we've basically just we've run through the units, done the fights. Various things have died here and there, but we'll just sort of summarise it because it's basically just no real units died in their entirety. But so yeah, Reaver's down to just a 2-man over here. Funnily enough, for the Assault Intercessors, we actually killed them down to 3 guys, and then believe it or not, you didn't catch it on camera, unfortunately, but 2 Space Marines ran away.
I'd like to see evidence of that. I'd like to see physical proof of Space Marines running away. They do know fear, apparently. So when you roll a 5 followed by a 5.
And then 1 for combat attrition as well, and
exactly.
you actually have 2 Space Soldiers run away. It happens.
It does.
It's a shame we didn't catch it on camera. Over here, the Death Cops have killed what? 1 Reaver? 2 Reavers?
2 Reavers.
2 Reavers. The Mega Knobs cut the Heavy Intercessors down to 2-man. And through a combination of Oosh Choppers and Tank Buster Bombs, the boys pulled the Redemptor Dreadnought down to 7 wounds.
Lads.
So yeah, it's actually sort of a series of ongoing combats now. There's not a lot of decisive victories there. But that does bring us neatly to the end of Orc turn 2, and at this moment in time, going into Space Wolves turn 3, the Orcs do control Objective 1, but only because of the Gorkanaut, so that's probably going to be contested or recontrolled in a minute. We've got 5 Mega Knobs standing on top of the objective in the centre, so they're sort of firmly holding that one for now. And we've got 10 Orc boys who are busy completing their Power Conduit action on objective number 3. So, I think then we'll be handing it over to Chris and we'll be back with Space Wolves turn 3. in just a
Turn
moment.
3, let's go.
So, Chris, we're back at the start of Space Wolf turn 3.
We are.
Now, importantly, it's the start of the battle round,
It is.
which means we need to see if the energy grid goes off and if it actually decides to harm things of its own accord.
Do me a cheese quaver and on a 3+ do some damage to that Gorkanaut, please.
And then this is 2+.
Is it 2+ now?
This is 2+ to see if the grid as a whole activates.
Okay.
Because it's
and then
somewhere
we need
roll.
to see if it links up.
Yeah, so
So
the
it's
power grid
2d6.
is triggering. 2d3, you just roll the 2d3 for us. So that is 1 and 2.
Yep.
So a line is drawn between objective marker 1, objective marker 2, and every unit along the line, and I'm going to count the Gorkanaut because it only seems appropriate considering how close it is. Everything along that line is going to be taking D3 mortal wounds. So it's going to be the Gorkanaut, the Mega Knobs, and the Heavy Intercessors.
And the more woofers. Right, so D3 mortal wounds on the Gorkanaut for 3. I'll
That
take
brings
that.
it down
Do
to
you get
7.
Deathskulls?
Down to 7.
Do you get your death scores against it?
No, it's a super heavy, so it doesn't get the trait.
Fair enough. Then the Mega Knobs for 1.
They get death skull rolls. They take it though, which kills the 1-on-1 wound.
Yay!
Ah.
The Heavy Intercessors take 3. So
kills one and leaves one on one.
Hooray!
These tech priest defences are
I
not.
don't want them, I've decided. I've decided this is a stupid mission.
They're not messing around, are they?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now it's back to the regular command phase stuff, which
Yeah.
means, unfortunately, in this instance, no victory points for the Space Wolves this turn.
Nope.
We both get a CP each, and you're attempting your litany.
Yep, so I'll do the litany, the exaltation of rage on himself, which he doesn't.
He's not been very inspiring today, has he?
He's just had some chamomile tea and he just doesn't care, that's the trick. Then obviously get my CV and then run the Assault Doctrine, which means I get my Savage Fury, so any hit roll of a 6 is now 2 hits.
Yes. Cool. So we'll be back then in a minute after Space Wolf movement phase.
Let's go.
At the end of the movement phase, Chris, talk us through who's where and what, who's doing what.
Wicked. So my characters and the 2 remaining Eradicators moved up towards the board, towards the Gorkanaut and the objective. They're happy where they are. Happy, maybe not, but they're staying there. The Impulsor moved up because I'm going to try and splat him for his silly +1 to hit. And then that's it. The Gladiators staying there, everybody else in combat staying where they are. So let's do some shooting. Go from this way and move along. So we'll do a crack missile into the Gorkanaut and then everything else into him.
Yeah, into the Wild Banner.
Yep. Cool, so the crack missile into the Gorkanaut, hitting on 3s. Hits, strength
Hits.
8, toughness 8 for 4s. Nothing.
Not wound.
Then the Iron Hail onto the Mega Knob. Not the Mega Knob, the Knob with War Banner. Hitting on 3s. Strength 4, toughness 5, so 5s. Cocked. That's 2 at -1.
I'll be on my 5-up save,
Yep.
either way. Take
Thought
2.
about it. Yep.
Leaves it on 2 wounds, because he's only a minor elite character.
Yep.
2
And
wounds.
then the 2 rapid fire Stormbolters.
Oh yeah, they fire at him as well.
They are. I do not like him very much. Hitting on 3s. And wounding on 5s.
Ooh.
That's 5 6s. What I'll say to that is, go on.
5-ups.
Oh,
Nah, gets him.
Oh.
Gets him. Guns down the War Banner.
Good work, Impulsor. Eradicators into the Gorkanaut. So 2 of those. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s.
Gets
1
it.
goes through, -4.
5-up. What I save.
Yep.
Whoop. Yep.
I'll say it's cocked.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I say, I'm happy you making that call. Yeah, it goes through.
Wonderful. D6, if it's within 12, it's D6 +2.
Ooh,
We
are
take measure.
Are we in 12 or not? Could be.
Would be close. Yep.
D6 +2.
Oh,
7's
7.
gonna do it
That is
exactly.
gonna do it.
That's the Gorkanaut down. Does it explode?
Yes. Fill everything in the middle of the board so I can.
Of course it does. Okay.
That's
Right.
double 1 for me, please.
Yeah, so Gorkanaut explodes. It's going to be a radius of 2d6. 9-inch radius.
The opposite of what I wanted, so that's going to get both my characters, everybody there, the Impulsor, the Weird Boy, but not the Gladiator.
We'll get the tank busters as well.
Oh, of course I need Tambusters. Yep.
And that's everybody taking d6 mortal wounds.
Is this another pivotal explosion in this game?
Well,
Let's
unfortunately,
find
first
out.
of all, this Space Wolf dies. he's on 1.
You don't know that.
He's dead regardless.
What if I chuck the dice on the floor? Yep. Then the...
That was a roll for you then. Let's roll for all
Yep.
the Space Wolves. So, the Captain in Grievous Armour.
Yep.
4 mortal wounds.
Yeesh.
The Chaplain, who is on 5 wounds.
Yep.
D6. Takes 3. And the Impulsor.
Ooh, that triggers his resolve of the bear.
Oh,
So-
he's got 6 up field.
He does have a 6-up field no pain, so what was it, 5?
Yeah, he took 4.
Took 4.
Yeah, the Captain's got 6 up field no pain, we remembered.
No.
He took it. Impulsor though.
Yes.
D6 for the Impulsor. 4
What
from
was
however
it
many it
on?
had left. I think it had, I want to say 7?
I think it was 7, so it's down to 4. Dunk.
Okay,
Now the fun bits.
now the fun bits. You may roll for the Orcs.
Thanks very much. These boys said 3 to splat. That's 1, it's just a 1.
Yeah,
I
Deathskull.
see Deathskull it.
It's
Of course
the
you
non.
do. That stupid squad of boys. The Weird Boy. 6.
6 on the Weird Boy, right. Deathskull. 5 up field up in. He takes 3 of them.
Jesus.
Which leaves him on
2.
2, yes. 2 wounds. Big mech hiding behind the coffee dot.
5.
Deathskull. He takes all 5 and dies.
That's what you get for staying behind the Gorkanaut game.
Okay, so now there's a big crater there.
Yes.
Let's carry on.
Let's.
Now, funnily enough, the gladiator's not fired.
It's not. It's whether I want to really put a hole in them with that, or whether I want to stalker bolt or something.
So this is the
The intercessors with the stalker bolt rifles into the tankbusters. So
into the tankbusters.
7 there. Hitting on 3+.
Yep.
That's pretty good go. My 6s are finally coming out to play. And wounded on 5s for 3.
For 3.
-2 on damage to your 5 pinball.
Yeah, Waaagh save. Takes 2. Now, what damage are these? The damage 2, aren't they?
I think yes, they are. They're 4, 2, 2. Yeah.
Yes, so they will actually kill the mob with 2 wounds.
Valiant's going to shoot the flyer.
The Valiant, the gladiator.
Yep.
Yeah, everything at the burn bomber.
Yep.
Yeah, -1 for being an aircraft.
No, we'll do the iron hail at them.
Okay.
Oh no, I can target him, can't I?
You can target him if you want.
Yeah.
You can blast him if
Ow.
you want.
Shoot him in the face with the iron hail heavy stubber. So,
Sure.
Yep, iron hail heavy stubber, everything else into the burner bomber. So the hail stubber into the weird boy. 3 hits.
T5.
5s. Nothing.
Nothing.
Never mind.
Snazgul just takes it on his snazzy skull.
He does. Laz Talon into the burner bomber. So 4 attacks hitting on 4s.
An aircraft.
That's 2.
Freeze.
I will command point and reroll that. That's good.
That's
So
2.
2 at -3.
Waaagh save for being an orc. Failed them both. 2d6 damage. That's 8. Leaves it on 4, and then there's multi-melters coming at it.
2 multi-melters hitting on 4s. 2.
Freeze.
And 3s.
Waaagh save. 5+. Takes them both.
D6 plus 2 each, so 4 plus.
Yeah, it's dead. It's very,
It is.
very dead. Now the important question, Chris.
Does it? We've not had enough explosions this game, Tony. That's my complaint.
Does it explode?
No.
No.
Mastercrafted heavy bolt rifle into him.
Oh, we're actually going to do some character sniping with
We
our
are.
characters.
So hitting on 2s. Come on, boss, what are you doing?
5s? Is strength 4?
Yep. For 1.
4 up in bun for bionic armor. Oh, I take it. Now, I do halve the 2 damage to 1 though.
You do.
So the weird boy's alive on 1 wound.
Absolve a bolt pistol.
Chaplin's going to try and do it.
It hits with gusto.
Does not wound. What's his strength 5? Absolver might be strength 5.
Absolve might be strength 5. Strength 5, -1, 2 damage. 1 5 up.
4 up. Relic. Cyborg, aren't they?
It's a 4 pinball.
Nice. 4 up in bun. Oh. Now, what CP am I on? I'm on 2.
It's not worth for me. Just let him die. That's what he would have
But
wanted.
he can do
It's
damage.
what he would have wanted.
I'm going to reroll it. I'm going to reroll it and try and save Snazgul.
Yep. Wait,
Snazgul lives!
him shooting everything into those boys.
Yeah, this is going to hurt.
Lead filter. Hitting on 4s with his heavy onslaught Gatling gun. Not a 3 to be seen, as is the way. Then strength 6, so 3s. 3s. That's all of them.
How many is that?
7 at -1.
Waaagh save. Ooh, I passed 4 of them.
Well, so then is heavy flamer for d6. That's the magic number. And wounded on 4s for 3 at -1.
Also, Waaagh save. Passed 1. So that's 5 wounds on the mob, which is that kills all the regular boys.
Yep. Reavers over there with their pistols.
Yes, Reavers into combat with the
How many is it? 3.
3.
3 Reavers, so hitting on 3s. Wounded on 5s. Just 1 at -1. -2, assault doctrine.
Gets through,
Yep.
which kills the wounded one.
Get out this guy.
Quickly now on to Space Wolf charge phase, I believe.
We're going to charge him into...
Multi?
No, just him.
Just the weird boy.
Just the weird boy.
That's an
11
11-inch
yes.
charge.
Hello, Tickle Bear.
Yeah, the Grievous Captain slammed straight into the 1 wound weird boy.
see his brain hanging out and he wants a piece of it.
Now,
Then he's going to try the boys.
so this is now the Wolf Priest into the boys. 7 inches.
Nope.
Not quite.
No.
Fair enough. But he knows it's safe there. He's like, right, let's not touch that thing. It hurts.
Exactly. And then that's my charges.
Lovely. Okay, so we'll go straight into fight phase then. Captain then into my 1 wound weird boy. Come on, Snazzskull, you can do it. Just need to pass all your invulnerables.
5 attacks base and +1 for charging.
6s explode.
Hitting on 2s with exploding 6s. He's angry, but not that angry.
It's a reasonable though for
Yeah.
his strength.
Master Cracker Power Sword.
Falls in.
I'll say that's cocked. So just 1 at -3.
4 up invuln. 1 CP left. It's a new phase.
He'll kill my captain. I know he will. Yep.
Snazzskull lives.
Yeah, he's going to smack my captain in his face. And I cannot wait.
I'm gonna do Snazzskull
No.
because I want to see it.
No, not allowed.
Here comes Snazzskull. 3 attacks base. +1 for Might is Right. +1 for Waaagh.
Yep.
Freeze tick because the war boss isn't close enough.
Yep.
That's fine.
Deathskull.
I'm very high strength, so I'm gonna go Deathskull reroll here. Yeah, Deathskull. No, didn't help. It's 3 hits. Now here's the fun part. I'm strength 5, 8 with the staff.
Yep.
9 for Waaagh.
Yep.
10 for the Warlord trait.
Yep.
Which actually means it's 2s,
Yep.
even though you're in Gravis armor.
Exactly.
2s, and I rolled 2
2
ones.
1s. Fantastic.
Of course I did. But 1 wound.
I'm Halo 4 up invuln.
It's minus nothing on your armor. So you
I'll take the 3 up.
3 of armor.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, he's armor of rust. Yeah, he's fine.
Fair enough.
That's how I saw that combat going. Definitely. We'll go down here and try and get some boys dead. So
Reavers into boys.
the sergeant has a combat knife, so that's important. So he's 3. The other guy's 2, so I'll do them separately because they've got AP. So hitting on 3s.
Excellent.
That's why he's sergeant. Then the lowly Reaver Bolter boy. 1 hit. 5s to wound. Way, punch 1. Right, give him the knife. Get that knife off that sergeant and give that man the knife.
Last bit of the fight phase. These Orc Knobs are going to try and wipe out these Reavers.
Yep.
Boss Knob. Or attacks because we're in the Waaagh.
Yay! Hitting on 2s because the boss is there.
Deathskull.
Deathskull.
Still have 1. Gosh. 3 hits. Strength 8. 2s. 2 wounds. Minus nothing for you.
They're good.
Fine. We'll have to do it with regular boys. Orc boys attacking the Reavers.
2s.
Hitting on 2s because the war
The
boss.
boss is there. The boss is watching. Winning on
3s. Good strength 5.
Yep. Team 3 ups. They're dead.
Yeah, we got them just. And yes, actually, this is the last fight. We've
Yep.
got the Reavers versus Deathcopter, so
Wonderful.
go for it.
So 2 base plus 1 for the blade. So 1, 2, 4 for the boss. Hitting on 3s. 6s are tasty. No 6s, because why would I even want them? And then 5s to wound. 2 at -1.
5 up saves. I take 1.
Yay!
Deathcopter's cracking back, 9 attacks each because of Waaagh and Whirly Blades. From 5, 3s. And we'll do Deathskull. Nope. So it is 3, 6, 8 saves and minus nothing for you.
8 3 ups. That's 1 dead.
Right, so is that everything for turn 3, Chris?
Yeah, that was a savage, brutal turn. Another big explosion that did a lot for both of us.
Oh yeah, there's a big crater here. So that's going to mean at the end of the Space Wolf turn 3, objective 1 is not currently controlled by anyone. Everyone is just vaguely keeping their distance from it since
Yep.
it seems cursed.
Yep, because everyone's seen the amount of explosions going on.
Mega Knobs have got objective 2, and the Orc Boys here have got objective 3. So
Yep.
we'll see how that racks up into the points when we get into Orc turn 3 now.
Yep.
Right, Orc turn 3. We're actually going to make it a bit of a summary turn because it shouldn't actually be too much going on. So, at the start of the command phase, I've gained 15 command points because I...
15 victory points.
Command points, yeah, 15 command points, I'd love to have.
I was going to say.
15 victory points. Not folding this one, this is what I've moved up to.
Yep.
So at the end of the movement phase, I've moved them on to objective 1. I'm over here at the start of the turn, I held objective 2. I held objective 3, and those Orc boys have completed the power conduit action for an additional 5 victory points. So 5, 10, 15.
What a group of guys.
Lovely. The Orc boys on that objective are going to start power conduit action again to complete it for next turn. And after moving, the only real things that have happened is the boys around here have sort of skirted past the Impulsor, heading towards this objective, and these 2 Orc boys have moved up to claim objective 1. So we'll quickly do a psychic phase. Now, this time, Deathskull can only do 1 power. So you've got the Belt of Rust, you're going to make me fight last.
Yep.
You've only got 3 wounds. I can only do 1 power. My best option is a smite to
Yep.
see what we get. So Deathskull's going to try and smite the captain. On a 7.
Yep.
I'm happy with that as a 7. D3 mortal wounds. It's going to be the full 3, but you have a 6 and feel no pain.
I do. I've got Resolve of the Bear. So 6s deny. Why would he
Not
want one?
deny.
Why would he want one? Honestly.
Wow, okay, that was lucky. I'm happy with that. Can't complain. Cool. In which case then, shooting phase, again, very minimal. So yeah, the only shooting worth noting is we're going to put a bunch of sluggers and big shooters into the Wolf Priest.
Fair.
And Zaggdreg will fire his big shooter
Yep.
at him, which will be in Daka range, and it's a Grot Gunner. 5 shots.
Hitting on 4s.
All hit.
Good going, Grot Gunner.
Sniper. He did that last game. He fired a volley where he got all hits.
It's just a lad.
He's an accurate Grot. That's why he's the boss's Grot.
Exactly.
Right, and then show 5 please. Deathskull wound reroll. Oh, reroll. 100% hit and wound rate from the Grot Gunner there.
What a guy.
5 saves minus nothing. Kills him.
Yeah, he's dead.
Killed by a Grot. Well, okay, I mean, I wasn't expecting Zaggdreg to kill a character this turn, but apparently he shot him.
Well, there you go.
I think that's about summing things up for the Wolves at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, we'll quickly jump into assault phase then. I don't need to charge anything on that objective marker. I'm just going to force you to come and kill me, I
You
suppose.
may as well lob the boss into the Impulsor.
Zaggdreg into the Impulsor then.
Yep.
He's going to be in, but I'm going to roll to see for distance.
Yep.
12. So
Yep,
just
standard.
Bob him at the front here. Smash his way into that Impulsor. Crushing armor, 2+ take D3 mortal wounds.
Yep.
You will be taking 3 mortal wounds from the
Amazing.
crushing armor.
I've got 1 left.
I'll just do the fight now with
Yep.
Zaggdreg. 5 attacks base, +1 for Waaagh. All hit on 2s.
Yep. Toughness 6 or 7.
I'm actually enough here, so I'm strength 6 base.
Yep.
7, 8, 9 for the axe.
Yep.
10
Just
for
one
Waaagh.
So it's 3s. It's not a
Just
big
3s,
difference.
yeah.
Yep.
Just a 10. So freeze. Deathskull reroll because I didn't need it on hits. Nope. 3 saves, -3.
3 6-ups. Is that 3?
Oh, -2 for you,
Cool.
sorry.
So 5s.
Times ups.
Nope, he's dead.
Yeah, 2 damage a pop.
Does he get banged? Cocked.
It
He
does
does!
go bang.
Yay! So
Is this what's going to kill the weird boy?
D3 mortal wounds on anything within 6, so that's him, the boys, and the weird boy. So we'll do the boss first. Takes 2. Deathskulls.
Takes 1.
Yep.
Drops him to 6 wounds.
Then the boys. Take 3.
Take 1.
Amazing. Then the weird boy. Takes 1.
Deathskull will not die. Deathskull dies.
He dies. Rip.
Oh well.
So I'll do the Redemptor.
4 attacks.
Going into the Meganos. So 4 dice hitting on 3s.
6s explode.
6s explode. So
3 hits.
3 hits. Then Kasplatting on 2s.
You say Kasplatting.
Yes, I do. I hope for Kasplatting.
3 power saves. Takes 2. Yeah, so 2 Mega Knobs left. I'm going to spend 2 CP on Hit 'em Harder.
Yep.
To make these
damage
normally
instead of-
3 damage attacks, but because you're a Dreadnought, it'll be 2 damage attacks.
Yep.
But I just want to hit them harder.
Yep.
3 attacks base +1. Twice. So 8 attacks.
Yep.
Hitting on 4s because Power Claws. Ooh, that's good. Freeze because you're 11. Deathskull reroll. 5 saves, -2 for you.
So 5 ups. Fails.
3,
3.
which is 6 damage. Dropping you.
Is that with the going down with the?
Yes, 'cause
Yep,
it would
cool.
be 9.
So
These is on 1.
he's got 1 left. Right. The Reaver's attacking the Death Copters. So that is 2 knife, 2 knife, and +1 for Sarge. Hitting on 3s, 6s are nice. There's a 6 and 2 misses. And wounding on 5s. That's -2 now because of the Assault Doctrine.
Yeah. 6 success. Takes 2, which leaves it on down to 1 wound. Right, so just to sort of sum up then, we're at the end of Orc turn 3, and looking at the battlefield and the objectives, unfortunately for Chris, it looks like he can't really catch up at this point.
It's the story of my life, mate.
So right now, the victory points are 20 to the Orcs, 5 to the Space Wolves, and if everything goes as well as possible for Chris next turn, he clears me off objectives 1 and 2, and he can't do it for objective 3, which means
Nothing's happening over here.
Yeah, which means at the start of my next turn, I'm going to score 10 more victory points, taking us to 30 to 5.
Yep.
And even if I let Chris hold both those objectives, you're then going to score 10 at the start of your following turn.
Yeah. Even just a pity let Chris hold those objectives.
Which will
I get
be
it.
30 to 15, and I continue to score another 10 in turn 5.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, whilst the Space Wolves have put up a good fight to try and take back objectives 1 and 2, at this point, they can't catch up with the fact that the Orcs have secured a vital objective and are siphoning power into the power conduit, and we will be opening the vault.
Yep.
So,
And knowing even on the off chance in the next turn that they explode and it kill all the Orcs, I'm still not going to be able to do it.
yeah, they've just pulled ahead now too much. It was that exploding gun wagon that took out that flank. It was a big shift in your fortunes. That's going to be Orcs taking the victory again today.
Yep.
So we'll be back in a second with our post-game wrap-up, really.
Boss, this is it. We found the door the Humies hid, dead sneaky-like.
You sure about that?
Yeah, boss. The power gubbins here opened it up, just like Buzzbrains said it would. Only after it zapped the grots good and proper like.
Good. Buzzbrain said there would be dead killy weapons inside too. Now get down there. We've got some looting to do.
Right then, Chris. Well, that's over.
It is. It is. It got hot very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was particularly funny where after the first turn we realised we needed to go back and redo the environmental effects because they were supposed to be triggering when the Orcs very hastily ran onto them.
Yep.
And those poor grots.
Yes, honestly, they never stood a chance.
But between that and the various exploding vehicles, there's just a bunch of craters left, really, isn't there?
Yep. I'd love to know how low down this vault is because I'm sure they felt the rumble and tumble of the battle wagon and the Gorkanaut going pop.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. So in the end, Zaggdreg's boys have managed to sort of open the vault and uncover the access point. So we'll have to see what fun things they managed to unearth in there now. And
They can keep them, I don't want them.
So yeah, they'll be looting and pillaging that, assuming they don't happen to find any disgruntled admech down there.
Yep.
We'll
Or just
see.
giant pylons of electricity.
Seemingly so. But yeah, how did you find the mission and the Visual War itself, like as a style of mission?
Yeah, it was great. It's tremendous fun. Anything that impacts either player's army, be it positively, negatively, is fantastic. Anything that makes you take a measured risk of, if I want to get this objective, cool. If I charge on it, I'm probably going to explode. Awesome. Let's see what happens. And again, the tactical element of making sure you're on it at the start of your command phase, which means you've got to think a turn ahead, but then you've got to plan what your opponent's going to do, bait them to charge so it explodes. And I'd have liked more explosions, but I don't think there'd be anything left on the table if there were more explosions.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing I noticed was that given that it's Orcs versus Space Wolves, the invuln and the transhuman effect against range attacks didn't really come up a lot.
No.
I mean, I know I obviously had a couple of invulns anyway from force fields and such, but I think if you've got two armies, say like Tau and Eldar or something like that, that are going to be playing this mission, that would come into effect more than the chargers doing the exploding effect. So it's kind of interesting how it's got those two sides of the coin.
Yeah,
where...
like the offensive and the defensive. And funnily enough, this game was all about the offensive.
Yeah. And having to sort of tiptoe around the objectives, not wanting to advance and charge onto them.
Yeah, we're a lot more careful in the second turn after we saw what happened in the first turn about running and charging past those objectives.
Yeah, we were. But yeah, I had fun with it, and it still felt like a good
go and fight over the objectives in the middle of the table game. It was a bit weird for me feeling like I had no reserves, because typically I often have something either in strategic reserve or deep strike, and actually I just sort of had everything on the table and was just push forwards and claim what we can. And
I mean, having the Deathcopters over there meant that they were able to guard against the Reavers. If they weren't there and the Reavers managed to get a charge on that boy, it would have been a completely different game over on that side of the table.
I think I actually quite liked the mechanic of having 20 Orc boys in the battle wagon, like off on one flank doing their things, or like if the wagon blows, it's fine because now we've got 20 boys to do stuff with.
Exactly.
So having the fortress upgrade so that it can act independently was nice. It's not tied to having to follow the big mech around, but it still got just burnt down by those electric shocks from the objective markers. I hope you guys enjoyed that game. I've been enjoying it. I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah, it was great. I'd certainly like to play more missions alongside it. Maybe a future upcoming event of some description. Yeah, so as with all our battle reports so far on the channel, this has been an example of one of the games that you could play at the Crucible of War. Now, at time of recording, we've recently just had the second Crucible of War event here in the UK, and it was a ton of fun. Yes,
you were in attendance.
Probably my favourite 40k event I've been to, certainly in recent memory. Really, really good fun.
And tickets are now on sale for Crucible of War 3, which will be taking place on March 11th next year. So that'll be down at Tabletop Events in Belper, which is not far from yourself.
Yep, it's only half an hour up the road from me.
But yeah, the guys at Tabletop Events are great, the venue is great, and we love bringing the Narrative Wargamer spin on 40k to an event for people to play at. So yeah, if you want to give this mission a go at home, you can do. I'll say all the information's in the mission details back at the start of the video. And if you want to have a chance of playing it in person with a bunch of other like-minded players, then come down to the Crucible of War. Event details and ticket links and everything's in the description below, so you can go check that out. And say you needed to get a certain army painted in time for an event, who would you go to, Chris, for that?
If only I knew. Yeah, please get in touch if you need help with anything painting, big or small. By the time of recording, I do have space for early next year, so we can talk about getting things ready for Crucible of War. Likewise, if you want something done sooner, if I can, I will. If it's later, no problem. My rates are variable. I help people if they need a finance plan in place. Again, advice, tuitions, my hobby workshop, which is also at Tabletop Events on January 28th. All that information is available on my Facebook, so check me out at The Unrelenting Brush. My YouTube channel is The Unrelenting Brush, and my Instagram is _unrelenting_brush.
All good places to go check him out, and go check out all of Chris's work, because for your Orcs, your Genestealer Call, everything else that you work on for yourself personally, as well as all the various client projects that you do.
Yeah, I average 50-60 models a week, so chances are if you follow my stuff, you'll see something you like at some point over a 2-week period.
Yeah, I wish I had the time to paint that much. But instead I'm busy producing this.
Indeed, indeed. I know what I'd rather do.
Well, I mean, I enjoy this, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm looking forward to editing this and see how it comes out. I'm looking forward to doing the next battle reports that we've got coming up. And if you guys have enjoyed watching it, then make sure to like and subscribe here on the channel, because it does help. It helps us grow, it helps the algorithm, it helps other people find us. And beyond that, even just spread the word. If you enjoy battle reports, have friends maybe who do as well, and they want to see something a little bit different, send them our way. And this is what we do. We're not just our standard GT missions here.
Yeah, all about the story. Even though the game turned quite towards the middle part, towards the Orcs' favour, still a fantastic game, still a lot of fun, still a lot of possibilities for things to swing either way. There's not a lot left on the board because, again, it was just two brutal armies smashing over a table that was exploding constantly. And again, that's the element of the game that me and Tony particularly love.
Right, I have to say as well, I was impressed by the Gladiator. It's the first time I've seen one in play.
It did something. I was impressed. Normally it gets exploded in the first or second turn by the big Necron stalkery Doomstalker things. It just goes, done. But yeah, no, it did alright this game.
I just want to give a shout out to voice actor contributions for today. So that will have been Chris Iden. So he's one half of Subcity Radio. So go check out their podcast for anything and everything Necromunda related. I think Chris is also on YouTube as Under Hyper. So again, he does some Necromunda reviews and stuff. So go check him out.
So yeah, that's I think that's everything for today, Chris. So thank you again for coming out.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me. It was an awesome time.
It was a great fun. Thank you to the patrons who again make this possible. It really is because of their contributions that we've been able to get to where we are today.
Yep, I can believe it.
And if you want to help us grow more and get better equipment and more time for all of this and generally put more content out for you guys, then go consider joining our Patreon. You'll be able to find us on Patreon at Narrative Wargamer. And until next time, guys.
Until next time from me, definitely.
This has been Narrative Wargamer, helping you to discover more ways to play 40k.